Okay. So set the denominator equal to 0. 3x squared plus 16x plus 5. And then, if at all possible, use factoring to solve. Anytime you're finding excluded values, if at all possible, use factoring to solve. What method do I use for this one? X method. Is there a GCF? No. So 3 times 5 is 15. Got to add to be 16. All right. So from there, what multiplies be 15 has to be 16. 15 and 1. Good. Can I use the shortcut on the factoring? No. Why not? The number in front of the x squared. So what do we have to do then? Grouping. So we're going to replace the 16x with the 1x and the 15x. It doesn't matter whether you put 15x first or 1x first. I did the 1 because I knew 15 and 5 had a common factor, easy to find. But it doesn't matter. You'll end up with the same factory at the end. So group the first two together. What's our GCF? 3, no, not 3. Just x, right? And leave us 3x plus 1. And then my second two have a GCF of 5. And that leaves us 3x plus 1 there. So the factored form would be 3x plus 1 and x plus 5. A little longer factoring on that trinomial, but still same kind of trinomials that we dealt with back was it September or so we were doing those. So set each of those factors equal to 0. That'd be negative 1/3 and negative 5. The beautiful thing is I've already got the factoring for the denominator done. Now all I have to do is factor that. Hey. Better form anyway, right? All right. Now, numerator, how's it factored? It's a little easier. Pull a 2x out. Good. 2x. What's left in parentheses? X plus 5. Beautiful, because now what cancels? Sound effects make it more fun, kids. So. When I finish one of these problems, always in my head the theme to Star Wars is. I just feel accomplished. Okay, so simplifying. That's what we got to do. The good news is when we multiply, all of the rules are the same. We still have to factor. We still have to cancel out matching pieces. The difference is we've got at least 2 fractions to deal with instead of just 1. Okay, so let's look at find the product. Remember, product is the answer to a multiplication problem. Remember in elementary school, I don't know what letter we're on. Okay. When you multiplied fractions together, something like 3 over 28 equals or times 21 over 18. What were the rules of ways that you could cancel and multiply fractions? The first rule you learned was you multiply straight across. 3 times 21 and 28 times 18. But then we learned that you could do different things there. What else can you do? Bow tie method. I hate that name. Because it's a trick. But what really is happening when you do the bow tie method? You're canceling vertically or diagonally. Never straight across. You can cancel vertically or diagonally. Okay? So we're looking for factors vertically or diagonally that match up. So when I look at that, I say, okay, this is my method. It's not the only way to do it. You can do diagonally first if you want to. I'm a vertical first. Because then I'm dealing with two of the simplest fractions. If I do vertical first, I've simplified each fraction themselves. Okay, so vertically, does 3 over 28 cancel? There's something that goes into 3 and 28? No, but 21 over 18 does, right? Both of those are divisible by what? 3. So I'm really dealing with 3 over 28 times 3 times 7, and this is 3 times 6, right? Again, we usually just crossed it out and did the division, right? So I'm just rewriting that so that we're seeing our thought. Okay. Vertically, these 3's will cancel out. What do we know about 28? It's in its relation to this one up here. It's 4 times 7. Victoria? Yeah, that's what you were going to say. 4 times 7. Over here, I've got 7 over 6. What do we know about 6 in relation to this 3? 6 is 2 times 3, right? These are the steps that we were doing in our head. We probably just did it, crossing it out and doing all that, but I'm trying to write out individual steps as to what we're doing. Once I've canceled vertically, then I look diagonally. So what can cancel diagonally now? The 7 here can cancel the 7 here. This 3 can cancel that 3. So 7, 7. That becomes a 1. 3, 3. That becomes a 1. Then it's 1 times 1. 4 times 2. So that whole thing simplifies to be 1/8. When we were doing this in elementary school, before we just started typing them into the calculator and letting it do it, you probably did 3 will go into 18 6 times, and then 21 and 28 is supposed to be divisible by 7, and then multiplied and reduced again, which is fine. But when we start dealing with rational expressions with letters and all that stuff in them, we want to try to start getting into looking at factors canceling. So let's look at something like that. Let's say we had x squared plus 4x over x squared plus 8x plus 16. And again, we're not going to do excluded values on the multiplying and dividing. We'll just do the simplifying. Bless you. Bless you. So we got 2 fractions. So what's that mean about the factoring? How many places do I have to try to factor? 4 of them. Top, bottom, top, bottom for each fraction. Okay, so I'm just going to start here and factor the top of this one. What's the factored form of that? What do they have in common? X is a GCF, leaving x plus 4, right? And then I'm going to factor the denominator. Multiply to be 16 and add to be 8. 4 and 4. So that's going to be x plus 4 and x plus 4. Then I move to this fraction. Start factoring it. X squared minus 16. What's the method for that one? Difference of squares because it's 16. And it's x squared. So how's that factored? X minus 4, x plus 4. Or x plus 4, x minus 4. Doesn't matter what order you put that in. Does 5x simplify? Or factor? No, it's just 5 times x. All right, now, again, how can we cancel when we multiply fractions? What are the 2 ways? Vertically or diagonally. It does not matter what order you do that in. I'm a vertical first person. I do vertically and then diagonally. Okay? But you can do diagonally first. It doesn't matter. Okay? I'm going to do vertically. So I look at this fraction. I see x plus 4 and x plus 4. So I'm just going to cancel out 1 to 1 there. This one cancels that one. I look vertically over here. These won't cancel. So now I start looking diagonally. So diagonally, I see this x plus 4 and that x plus 4. They will cancel each other out because they're diagonal to one another. What else can cancel? There's one other thing. The x, this x up here can cancel that x right there. Okay? Look at what's left. The only things that are left are x minus 4 and 5. So that's your answer. X minus 4 over 5. That big ugly problem that we started with simplifies down to this fairly simple thing. Okay. Negative 5x squared plus 20x over x squared minus x times x squared plus 3x minus 4 over x squared minus 16. What do I do first? Start factoring them. Doesn't matter where you start. Just pick something to start with. I'm going to start top left. What do 5x squared, negative 5x squared and 20x have in common? 5x. I'm going to go ahead and pull negative 5 out. Anytime that leading coefficient is negative, it's a good idea to pull the negative out with it. Okay, so I'm going to use negative 5x. What will that mean? The parentheses will be x minus 4. It changes that sign in the middle. Okay, so anytime that the GCF there has a negative sign on the front term when it's in descending order, pull the negative with it. That's a good rule of thumb for factoring. All right, denominator, how's that factor? X, parentheses, x minus 1, good. Numerator over here, multiply to be negative 4, add to be 3. Four and negative 1. Good job. Can I use a shortcut? Yeah, so x plus 4, x minus 1. Denominator. The difference of squares. We've done x squared minus 16 already today, so that's x plus 4. I don't know why I changed colors. Change back. X plus 4, x minus 4. All right. Now, vertically and diagonally. Start canceling stuff. Okay? So, x minus 4, x plus 4s, x minus 1s. And what else? X. What's left? Hey. Big ugly problem turns into negative 5. Well, the process doesn't get any different. It's still, the idea is factor, cross out. Factor, cross out. That's the name of the game. Let's look at N. Let's do this one. X plus 2 over x cubed minus 27 times x squared plus 3x plus 9.